like there's like if you think there's only gym owners in our mastermind, it's like so I was on the phone. One of our mastermind members is launching like a prototype new piece of fitness equipment. One launched a meal service, the other opened a supplement store. Um, what else? One's like going online. Kyle became a fasting expert. So it's like it's really cool to see you guys like being, real on it's like the difference of being a business owner and an entrepreneur. Like the business owner, and there's nothing wrong with either one. The business owner has their business and they park themselves in their business and they do it, but the entrepreneur creates multiple streams of income. And that is a very valuable thing to have right now, right? If like let's say one of your businesses was a gym that got closed, but your other business was I don't know, like what your I know you're restarting your meal, but your other business was a meal service or your other business was an online program. Like now that one can continue to grow and run while your other one kind of that's why I talk about in my Surge course the worst number in marketing. And the worst number in marketing is one. And you saw that like I love you, Marlon. I love your water bottle. That's so sick. Um, but the worst number in marketing is one because, like, so a few years ago, uh, who here was doing marketing, like Facebook marketing in like 2015, 2016? Just nod your head if you were. And it was like you literally could put a piece of shit ad out and garbage copy, and all of a sudden like leads like flooded to your door, and they were like good. They were like good leads, and it was like crazy. And then all of a sudden, like people relied on that, and they did no other marketing. They didn't email their list. They stopped all the community stuff. They didn't focus on generating referrals because they could just throw a Facebook ad out and it worked. And the reality is, when that thing stopped, like that's literally when that stopped working is when I kind of came in as a consultant into the industry. And so it was like 2017 is my first full year in doing this. And it was like everyone I was talking to was in a panic. And they're like, my marketing's not working. My marketing's not working. I'm not getting any leads. My marketing's not working. Well, what's your marketing plan? I was running Facebook ads. Like, well, that's not a marketing plan. Facebook is not a marketing plan. Facebook is a tool to generate leads. So the worst number in marketing is one. And the worst number in business is one. So all of you should, you have your one gym or maybe you have multiple, but all of you should be thinking about what are ways that you can diversify yourself as a business owner. So you're not reliant on one. Like, what does a restaurant owner do right now? Like, we're at least lucky we're at least lucky. Like, I really don't think gym owners have this situation that bad. I really don't. Big box gyms have it tough. Big box has it tough. They're going to get hit hard. But for us, we had if we're a small knit gym, like I think most of you are, right? You have good relationships with your members, right? So you have trust, and most of you have your people on recurring revenue, and you have the ability to run your business online. So it's like, yeah, you took a hit, but it's really in the grand scheme of it, it's not that bad for us relative to other businesses. So hopefully you guys get through this. Um, Anyone open yet? Type into the chat. Who's open? Yes, just maybe say yes or no. This is an English-speaking audience, right?
Sí.
Yes. So type in Spanish just to make sure I understand Spanish. So I have two no's. So only two people on. Oh, there we go. Okay. So no. So pretty much Ben Shear, you haven't defied the order? Not yet. Well, Ben, you're able to do stuff outside. You know, if you're in New Jersey, you can do stuff outside, and that's what maybe pay attention to the loopholes there. But we were cleared to do stuff outside. We've had a couple classes this week. We're starting our small groups probably next week outside, just doing it on our lawn and parking lot. I hope no one gets hit by a car when they're working out. But I'll take that chance. No, I'm kidding. All right, are you guys ready for the sweepstakes? This is oh my God, we're gonna have a lot of fun today because this is a game changer. It really is. This has the potential to change the game for your business. And the cool thing is all the hard work and heavy lifting is done. So when I'm going through this and you're like, oh my God, this is a lot of work. I don't know if I can implement this. I don't know if I can do this. That's where you kind of take a breath and realize that I've done all the work for you. So I'm going to outline a program that today I'm going to give you the concepts and the ideas about it and why it's a good thing to own. And this is something that will not just run once. This should most likely become part of your marketing plan forever. It's that powerful and that strong. But the reality is I created this 5 years ago from scratch, from nothing. And I've run it for 5 years and I've been able to kind of dissect it down and perfect it to the point where I'm just going to hand you guys the keys. And all you got to do is, in some instances, copy and paste. So it should be an exciting thing. So don't get overwhelmed by the depth of what I'm going to talk about today. Get excited because there's a lot less work on your part that will have to go if you want to implement this. And every resource, there's a lot of the resources that we put into the Facebook group here in Module 3, okay? But we also, remember, you all have access to spfmastermind.com, okay? You all have access to that. And there's a sweepstakes portal. All right, Will, it's just titled sweepstakes?
Yeah, it'll be sweepstakes done for you.
It's titled sweepstakes done for you. And it's essentially everything you're going to need is in there as well. So that might be is that the more complete place to go, Will, for them?
Correct.
Okay. Because I put a bunch of the files in, but the more complete place to go is spfmastermind.com. You all got a password for that. If you did not get a password for that, email Megan. Megan is the one that's taking care of you, and she can take care of all of the login and stuff like that. All right, are you guys ready to go? Type in C or no. Are you ready to go? C or no? Good. All right, we're all ready. All right, let's lock and load. I'm going to mute you, Zach. Remember to please mute your audio. Where is my good friend Matt? Is he on the call? Matt's who I always have to end up muting. Poor Matt. All right, so the title of this is, you can all read, how to get lots of ready-to-buy clients, set your community on fire, and make loads of money. Sounds like a big promise, but if you run this play right, it will, it can happen for you. You have to run it right, but it can happen. And the whole community on fire thing, I think is a big deal now, right? I do, because I think that there's a lot of negative stuff going on with all the COVID things. And I think people need something to kind of jump onto and latch onto, and running a program like this can really make that happen. And I'm going to share what happened with us, 5 years ago. That was the total kind of game changer. So here's what you're going to learn today. You're going to learn how to implement the absolute most effective marketing strategy I've ever used that none of your competitors know about and has the power to transform your business. I'm gonna probably say go on a limb and say this, but many of your competitors have never run this play. All of your competitors have done a 6-week challenge. They've all done something like that. But very few of your competitors have run this play in the magnitude that I'm going to present it today. So when your community sees this, it's going to be like, whoa, this is, something different and something big. So, so why should you run this now? So typically I run this play once a year, sometimes twice a year. Okay. And I think that you should run this now because people have been cooped up for months and they need something to get their health back. Okay. So there's got to be some kind of an offer and some kind of thing for you to put out there once you open. And I'm sure you'll have questions about this, like when you should run this, and we'll save that for Q&A. But to some kind of program to have people running back to their health, right? Some kind of almost a time-sensitive package that normally it would be a good place for like a 4-week or a 6-week challenge where you would get, 30 to 50 new people to your gym. But why that is probably not a good idea is because most of you are going to be limited by capacity right now. Right? Most of you are going to be limited by how many people you can put in your gym at once, and selling a program at a low rate will not allow you to fulfill that need, right? There's going to be a lot of people that want to train, but you're not going to be able to fill that need because you're going to have to service your clients first. Okay, so you might not want to run a challenge like that because your capacity is limited. Okay, and the other reason is because, pushing this thing out there online and via email, people are just locked into their phones like crazy. So I think you're going to be able to get this in front of people better than you ever have before. So kind of let me tell the story. It was 2015, and we were coming off a year where we had grown every year in my gym. Okay, and every year we had grown by a decent chunk, some years more than others. But in this year of 2015, we had a stalemate year, like no growth. And because of that stalemate year, we really felt it. We felt it on the team. We kind of felt it with the clients. There was just kind of something off. And I kind of we were running a lot of the same marketing things, and the results were getting less and less and less and less. And I went to a friend of mine. He's out in California, and he was the social media director for the Mighty Ducks, which is a hockey team. And I talked to him, and the kid was actually my client. So he was like in high school when I was training. And so I was like young, 24. So he wasn't that much younger than me, but I still looked at him as like a little kid. And I was like, we got to talking, and he's like, I was telling him I was like frustrated with our marketing. And he's like, yeah, well, have you ever tried, like a giveaway or a sweepstakes? And he does a lot of this stuff because he's in the kind of sports team, professional team world. And I was like, nah, I never really tried anything like that. I was like, to be honest, man, our clientele is like a little bit more sophisticated than that. So these aren't the kind of clients that buy lottery tickets. They're kind of not really doing this kind of stuff. They really just want to see what the value is. And he was like, all right. And I was like, but here's the thing. I got to change something. So let me just try it. And so I implemented this program. And here's essentially what we implemented. Okay. We created a giveaway of a lucrative prize where people need to apply to win. So I'm going to talk about the lucrative prize that we used. But if you think about it, a lot of times people give away prizes like, a free personal training session, or they give away, maybe like an iPad or something like that. And what I've seen is the prize is never really lucrative, right? The prize is always what I call lukewarm, meaning it wasn't enough to give away to get someone really, really, really excited about. So that's what it is. It's a giveaway of something massive, of something huge that is going to spark and drive people to be drawn to this, where it almost has created what's called the Godfather offer. And the Godfather offer is an offer that you can't refuse. And the second part of it is we selected 4 people to win. So we put out this massive personal training type package that we were giving away, we promoted all over the place, and we selected 4 winners. But then what we did is we took it a step further. We took the 4 winners and we treated it like a documentary. So what we did was the people that won this prize, and our prize was like a 6-week personal training package, carte blanche, everything you can think of. Personal training, nutrition coaching, accountability, all that. And what we did was we documented their journey on social media. So we would show them, like, all right, what were they eating? What were they working out? What were they doing? And all of a sudden the community started following what was going on. So now we didn't just get on the front end a bunch of people to apply for this. We got the community involved to be able to see what was going on. And it was like, so that's essentially what we did back in 2015. And I'm going to talk about kind of the results of it. Okay. But what it does is when you do something like this, and again, you don't have to run it exactly like this, but when you do something like this, it lights a fire. So I talked to you in 2015, we were like all over the place. And we were like, not having a good year. The team was kind of struggling. The clients were kind of stale. Okay. This program, not only with the people that won, but our current clients, because they were even rallying around the people that were there. It just lights a fire under your business, right? It lights a fire under your business. And what better way to light a fire under your business in the midst of a pandemic to kind of get things rolling, get things started again? Okay. It generates new, very qualified members because it's a very local thing and there's a lot of sharing going on. And so the qualified member part is really, really powerful. You get great success stories to use forever. So some of the success stories that we've gotten from this program, we still use today. It builds our local email list. So not a lot of people, not everybody is going to buy right away, but it builds your email list of people to follow up with in the future. And the potential to bring you an attractive character. So I'm going to talk about that in a second, but there's huge potential to have an attractive character, and that's a very, very valuable thing in your business. Okay, so this is the formula. I'm going to go over this now, and then we'll leave plenty of time for Q&A after this. But there's really 5 steps to making this part of your business and a marketing play that you can use over and over and over again. So the first one is the offer. The second thing is how you market the offer. The third thing is how you select the winners. The fourth thing is how you turn that selection process into money, and then sharing the stories with the community. So these are kind of like the 5 steps to this winning formula with the sweepstakes. Okay. A compelling offer is 10 times more effective than a compelling argument. Think about that. A compelling offer is 10 times more effective than a compelling argument. This is why this is so powerful. This is so powerful because the offer speaks for itself. You can almost do a shitty job of marketing this thing, right? And since the offer is so good, it doesn't even matter. Now, when you combine good marketing with this offer, that's when this thing will explode. Okay? When you combine good marketing, and the good thing for you guys is I'm going to give you all the good marketing to go with the good offer. Okay? So here's kind of the first part that I want you to remember. So let's just say that, and this is more just educating you guys about offers in general here. So let's say that you came over my house. And you came over my house and we weren't like really good friends. Like we're acquaintances, right? And you came over my house and I said, I invited you in and it said, okay, you have a seat on the couch. And we were like going to watch football or something. And I said to you, and I said, I said, hey, I have a fridge full of food. I got my Vanessa cooked a bunch of food. We went to the grocery store. It's totally stocked. There's drinks in there. There's beers in there. Um, whenever you want, whenever you feel like you want to have something to eat or drink, just go ahead and go into the fridge and get it yourself. Now, we're acquaintances, right? I'm not like your best friend where you're coming and, over my house like every other day. We're acquaintances, right? How many of you are going to go into the fridge and get something on your own? And I would think that most of you would be like, I'm not going into that fridge. Like, I'm not even want to use the bathroom. Like, I just want to say, like, I just met this person, so I'm not going to. So, because that's like what you were kind of born to do, right? You were raised probably to not impose on other people and to be polite and all of that. We've kind of had been programmed like this. All right. But that's the issue with most offers. Most offers are kind of like, hey, if you want anything, go into the fridge and get it yourself. And it's not a great offer, right? It's not a great offer at all. And it's probably not one you're going to take. So here's the opposite side. Let's make believe that you were in my home and you sat on the couch. And I said, hey, I'm going to go into the kitchen. I think Vanessa was baking some things. I'm going to go see what she's got, and I'm going to come back out with it. And I came out with a beautiful tray of piping hot, fresh brownies. And I brought the brownies out on the tray, and you were sitting on the couch. And I held the tray right in front of you. And I said, hey, Jackie, would you like a brownie? My wife just baked them. They're gluten-free. And they're delicious. The best brownies I've ever had. What are the chances that you're not going to take a brownie after I've held the tray right in front of your face and the steam of the ooze of the brownie is coming up, and they're a little bit gooey in the middle too. I like the gooey ones. And I held that in front of your face, and you are going to take one. You're going to take a brownie. It would almost be rude for you not to take a brownie. It would almost be rude for you not to take one because my wife cooked them. They're already hot, and here they are right in front of your face. So that's how I want you to think about offers. And this is a marketing lesson in general, right? So the sweepstakes is obviously like the ultimate really good offer. But that's how I want you to think about when you're marketing and you're putting stuff out there. Ours is, you got your copy, right? And hopefully your copy is talking to the prospect and highlighting the pain and everything like that, whatever you need to do. But then what is actually the thing that you do to say to them to take action? Because nothing happens if they don't take action. If they read the email and they don't do anything, nothing happens, nothing moves, nothing flows your way. So this is kind of what I want you to start thinking about from a marketing perspective. And you put an offer out and you ask yourself, is this a fresh, hot brownie? Or as I talk to my guys, is it kind of a stale brownie? Or is it asking someone to go into the fridge and get their own? So start to judge the offers that you put out, and even on social media. And we talked about this last week. You should be putting an offer out to do something. On all of your social posts. So I want you to kind of remember this offer when you're writing offers and you're doing things in general in marketing, to think about the fresh hot brownie example and say, is this worth someone taking? And is it going to be almost hard for them not to actually take it? Okay. So that's kind of like your sweepstakes offer. So here's kind of the thing that you should think about when you're creating your offer for the sweepstakes. Now, I will give you the offer that has been the most effective. Okay. I would give you the offer the most effective. And that offer is on the landing page, which you have access to in terms of the nuts and bolts of the offer, like what exactly you get with it. In a nutshell, we gave away a 6-week personal training kitchen sink package. Personal training, nutrition coaching, accountability, blah, 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 blah. Take what your best program and multiply it by 3. And that's what they get. Okay. So think about creating the biggest, boldest, highest value offer in the history of your business. What could you be like? Your accountant would be like, you're freaking crazy for giving this away. That's what's got to go. Because I have had people take this concept and give away a month of training and just say, yeah, we're giving you a month of our normal program. Bullshit. Ain't going to work. Not going to get people excited. This has to be like, whoa, they're giving that away? So offers should be so strong that it creates a buzz in your community. So people are, hey, did you see what's going on down there at Gabriel Fitness? Did you see that? Did you see what they're actually giving away this? Like, that's the conversations that you want to create. It should be so strong that it's worthy of sharing. And whenever we run this, there's lots of sharing that goes on with this. The offer should have a deadline. The offer should have a deadline. That's one of the best ways to market is running against the deadline. So that you have to have, people have to apply for it, which I'll talk about in a second, but there's an actual deadline that someone has to apply by. And then that's where you can get really creative. And also, you should have scarcity, which is one of the most powerful laws of persuasion, is scarcity. Right? And that's you have X amount of applications that you're going to accept. You have X amount of spots that you're going to take. Right? So there's a scarcity to it. It's a powerful law of persuasion. All right, so these are all the things that you need to think about when you're creating this offer. But the biggest statement is, what's the biggest, boldest, highest value offer in the history of your business? And that's what you want to select for something like this. And even if you gave away a year of free training, here's how I want you to think about this. You might be like, screw that. I ain't giving away a year of free training. Are you kidding me? Well, let me do some math for you. Let's say a year of free training costs you, and I'm pulling my calculator out, okay? Let's say a year of free training ends up costing you in your cost, right? What you're going to pay the trainer to implement. Let's just say it costs you, and I doubt it's going to be more than this, but let's say it costs you $100 a month to fulfill it, like with payroll and stuff like that. Maybe let's just say even $200 a month, okay? And at $200 a month, we'll multiply that by 12. So it's costing you out of pocket $2,400 to give away a year of free training and payroll. Okay, so you might be, oh, that's a lot of money to commit to, right? That's a lot of money to commit to. Well, this is where we got to think smart. Now, let's just say that this offer brings in, let's say we crap the bed and we only get 5 new clients from this, okay? But your average value of a client is $3,000, okay? It's $3,000. And you got 5 clients, so 3,000 times 15, 3,000 times, I said 5, it's 15, yeah, it's 15,000. So you spent 2,400 over the course of a year to make 15,000. This is kind of how you have to start thinking about this stuff. So giving away a year of free training at first glance is like, no way, I'm not doing that. But then when you look at the lifetime value and the potential of how many clients you could get, right, it's a really easy thing to give away. Right now we're talking about giving away, I think AB Fitness, who's on here, is giving away a year for a whole family to train with them. Right? How much is that going to cost? But the reality is he understands lifetime value. So when you're creating the offer and you're looking at this and you can be like, you're thinking small and you're like, how can I give all this away? You got to look at what you're going to get in return. And does the return that you're going to get exceed the expense that you're going to put out to fulfill it? So that's kind of how you got to think about the offer. Okay. So the offer is going to get highlighted in a landing page. Okay. So, you can put everything in there, but we found great success actually with this offer on a landing page. And so this is basically the formula we use for the sweepstakes. This is all you need. You don't need a huge sales page. You don't need to go like heavy on the copy and dear friend and all stuff like this. These just need 6 key points for a really, really effective landing page. Now, if you're going to sell something online, so like my Surge page and the investment for my Surge course is $2,500. All right, I can't sell that in just this. I need to give a lot more in the page because it's a $2,500 investment. So it's bigger and more. And that landing page ends up being like 25 pages long. But for something like this, where it's like a really, really good offer and it's free and all they're really doing is applying for something, then this is the formula that you could go with. Okay. And it's a really good formula in general. Okay. Number 1 is a bold headline, which essentially, anything you got to know about marketing is that the headline is the most powerful part of your marketing. The headline is the ad for the ad. If they don't read the headline, they won't read anything else. So if you get anything right in your marketing, it's the headline. Then there's a video, and here's a formula for video: who, what, why, and how. I'll talk about that in a second. Bullets for pain, what keeps them up at night. Bullets for features, right? Features so you can benefit, which I'll talk about in a second. Testimonials, and then who you are. That's really it. Remember, you're going to get this exact landing page, but this is like a really well thought out. This is like the basics. Remember, could you add a guarantee? Yeah, you could add a guarantee, but you're giving something away for free. You don't really need it. Okay. So let me go through these a little bit. So here's some sample headlines that we've used in the past. Okay. Remember, this is based on what we've done. And I will say this, going from 6 to 8 weeks was a huge change. The first time we did it was 6 weeks. The last few times we did it is 8 weeks. Remember, we've been running this for 5 years. So we needed to change it, and just a 2-week change made it go through the roof, in addition to better marketing. Who else wants a personal trainer and a nutrition coach for 8 weeks free? That was a killer headline. How to get, and remember, these are following standard, really good headlines. How to get 8 weeks, I think that's a typo there. How to get 8 weeks of free personal training. That's right. How to get 8 free weeks of personal training and nutrition coaching. More of a question headline. Do you want a personal trainer for 8 weeks free? Notice it's always free. Free is a powerful word. Okay. Free 8-week personal training program. Transform your health and fitness in 8 weeks. Okay. Transform your health and fitness in 8 weeks was the first time we ever used it. It's probably the weakest headline, but since that was the first headline we ever used, it did really, really well. But I think it was more of the novelty of this whole concept. So the headline didn't need to be as good. But as you grow and your community kind of gets numb to this, they understand it's coming, they know it's coming, then that's where you would do, boom, who else wants a personal trainer and nutrition coach for free, for 8 weeks free? So know that you don't have to be perfect with your copy. Know that the ad sells itself. As you do this more and more, your copy needs to get better and better and better. But you might as well steal these and just start right away. All right, intro video is real simple. A lot of times people yap too much on these intro videos. And remember, a lot of this stuff, I kind of wanted to teach you the sweepstakes component, but like this landing page, that is like a good, just normal formula. I'm not saying that's only sweepstakes. This is what we use for the sweepstakes. But if you're doing like a landing page for just like an opt-in for a challenge or something like that, you can use that formula for your landing page. So I'm just trying to do some good basic marketing principles with you as well throughout this presentation. Because I'm giving you everything already, I kind of wanted to do some just teaching. So a good intro video when you're talking about a product is who, what, why, and how. Okay, and who is who you are. What is what you got for them. 3 is why they need it, why it would benefit their life, what value it's going to bring to their life. and 4 is how they get it. Right? And so you don't need to kind of reinvent the wheel and go real, and this could be a really short, simple, easy video. It doesn't have to be crazy. Okay. But this kind of gives you a formula, and this is this formula you could use for anything. Like, let's say you wanted to do a video about a new nutrition program, or you're doing stretching sessions now, whatever. Okay, this is a video, a formula that can be standard. This is not specific to the sweepstakes. Okay, so that's your intro video. Basic bullet point formula. So let's say you're doing bullet points of like the features, right? So hopefully you guys understand features and benefits. Features is what it is, right? 12 personal training sessions is a feature. It's not a benefit, it's a feature. It's a feature of what you do. So a really good basic bullet point formula that you can use, and you can use this with all your bullets. A lot of times people have no idea how to write bullets. Well, this is it. All right. So it's, you list the feature. So in this case, it's the feature is 12 personal training sessions. And then the bridge words are so you can. So you can. So that's just like, so they can envision themselves of having that. Okay. And get the benefit, right? So it's so you can benefit. So you can have a coach. Watch every rep you take. Well, I would tell you that that's a benefit to people, especially in my market, that are very nervous to train on their own. And I sometimes will ask them, like, what's the most valuable part of coming here? And they're saying, I just have a coach watching me. And the coach is making sure I'm doing it correctly. And that means I'm not going to get hurt. Right? And so that's a value. And I only would know that value by talking to the clients. I didn't really know they valued it that much. I would have said, yeah, they value their clothes fitting better, they value their weight loss, but they value their safety. And having a coach watch over them every rep they take, like, and then you can visualize that too, or you can visualize, the client can visualize themselves working out and having a coach stand over them and watch them and say, no, get your chest up a little bit. No, drive your elbow back a little bit. Now you're going to, you don't round your back like that. Right? Which means, so now bringing in the meaning, which means you'll deliver the best results without getting injured. So there's meaning. Right? So the benefit is them having the coach, right? That's a benefit, right? But then the real thing that makes them connect to this emotionally is that they'll get results without getting hurt. That's where the meaning comes in. So this is a basic bullet point formula that you can use. A lot of times people stop at the feature. They'll bullet and they'll put 12 personal training sessions, nutrition coach, accountability, blah, 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 and they'll list it out, okay? But they won't actually do the full bullet formula, okay? So that is a powerful way to write the bullets. Then there's also bullets for pain, right? So those are the bullets of what they get. But the pain point bullets are kind of calling out the things that keep them up at night. Calling out the things that their target market has pain, frustration, and overwhelm with. Okay? So here are the ones these are the new bullets I wrote for COVID. Okay, and this is all on the landing page. If you're finally fed up with the struggle of fitting into your pre-COVID clothes, apply below. If you're just done, look at the emotion. If you're finally fed up, if you're just done, if you're over, if you're worried. All right. Now, I'm not using words like saying it. If you're ashamed of the person, sorry, Anthony, if you're ashamed of the person, that you are in the mirror. Right? I'm not using like that, because that's not bringing out the pain. That's more just telling them how much they suck. So there's a difference between the two, but using words like fed up, if you're done, if you're over, if you're worried, if you're overwhelmed, if you're frustrated, okay? But you want to be able to bring out that pain. If you're just done with the low energy you've developed from being in quarantine, if you're over the fact that every time you try to exercise at home, you never get the workout you need. How many people have these shit-ass Zoom workouts? And then the first week they loved it. And now it's just like they're so over it. They're so over it. There's some people that aren't, but I think most people are totally over it, the virtual. The people that are used to it. There's some people that will stay forever. All right. If you're worried that the pandemic has weakened your immune system, apply below. And if you're finally ready to get out of the house, they can picture that. Get out of the house. Take action and do something about this. Apply below. So all these are bullets, but the bullets are bringing up the pain, which is what you want to highlight in something like this. Testimonials, social proof. So this is the other part. Social proof is the most powerful law of persuasion. Hands down. I told the story last week. When you're putting testimonials in print, you can do a couple things. One, I really like taking screenshots from reviews from Facebook and Google. So you can take screenshots and put those on the landing page, or you can really just take a picture of the person and have a headline, a paragraph, and a full name. Don't put a picture of the person and then a big paragraph next to it. I spend a lot of time looking at a testimonial and then pulling out what the headline of the testimonial is. What's the one thing they say in a testimonial that would make someone peek up when they saw it? I lost 25 pounds in 6 weeks. My life will never be the same. Blah, 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 changed my life. Here I was before I was this, now I'm this. That's what you're looking for in a testimonial. What is that little piece that you can pull out of it that would act as a headline to get someone to read the testimonial? Remember, the headline is the ad for the ad. No one will read a paragraph testimonial. I promise you that. Nobody. But they will read the headline. So don't put a testimonial out, and you should check all your marketing. Check all your marketing right now. And if you have a testimonial that's got a big, big paragraph, and you can even do it with Google review. If you can screenshot a Google review and pull out the piece and make that a headline. Do it. I put in the video testimonial questions for you guys it's in the file section of module 3. But you're answering the question, where were they before and where are they now? That's what you want to hear. That's what a testimonial should say. Where were they before and where are they now? Okay, so the marketing plan for this play. So you got your offer, okay? You got your landing page, which is kind of the key thing. Is the landing page describes the offer and explains what it is. So now you want to pre-plan this marketing with your team. So you got to sit down and block a few hours and be like, all right, this is what we're going to do to plan this marketing thing out. Remember, a lot of this is already done for you, so you don't maybe not even have to do this. Okay, now this is a huge mistake people make. All marketing that you're currently doing should stop. All of it. Everything. And everything that you do, every social post, every email, every video, whatever you put out, the call to action should be driven towards this for 10 to 21 days. Everything else is stopped. I had some guy, and he was a high-level industry guy, and he wanted to do this, and I gave it to him because he was kind of a friend of mine. Okay, and I just said, dude, just run it. You'll kill it because you got a big list. And he shit the bed because I saw his marketing, and he put out like 2 emails. He didn't follow the emails I put out. He used 2 emails, and then I saw he was marketing on this another program he was doing on the same day, and I'm just like, it doesn't work. You almost have to treat this like a launch, right? That you're taking this and you're launching this for 10 to 21 days, and there's this massive amount of information and drive about this thing to your community. That is what's going to get the buzz going on around it. And then sorry, this is really important. I didn't do this for the first few that we did, and it changes the game when you do this. It changes the game. So what you're going to do is in your marketing plan, when you're deciding what you're going to do, you want to set a goal for how many applications you want to get filled out. So they're going to click the landing page, and there's going to be an application. I'm going to give you some info on the application in a second, and I'm going to give you a copy of our application as well. But setting a goal for how many applications you want to get, and that will tell you how hard you need to push. So we ran it 2 years ago, and it was a 10-day, and I think we went 10 days, and I had a goal of 20 applications a day. And I'm not lying to you, the first like 7 days, we like literally got exactly 20. It was like crazy to the point where I was like, almost, this is really weird. And then we hit like 15 on like day 17 or 18. We hit like 15, or no, day like 7 or 8. We hit like 15. And I was like, screw this. So then I went into like my marketing mode, and I wrote a bunch of different new emails, and I boosted the ad, and I did more social posts. I told my team, I was like 5 social posts a day. And I was like, we're not having a day where we don't get 20. And we ended up, so 10 days, 20 a day would be 200. We ended up getting that, I believe, like 247 applications, because we just massively pushed it. But setting a challenge for yourself and setting a goal for how many people fill out that application. And again, it may be arbitrary in the beginning. You may just have to kind of pick a number. It may not like mean much in the beginning, but as you go and you make this part of your marketing in the future, you'll be able to have a better idea of what's realistic. But setting that goal was huge. So here's your sweepstakes marketing glove. Remember, I told you, your marketing glove, the worst number in marketing is 1. Worst number in marketing is 1. So you need multiple ways to promote this thing. I believe that hopefully you have an email list. And the cornerstone for this program is the email list. If you rely on the Facebook ad too much, you won't get good results. If you really have a good, well put together email list that's got former prospects, that's got lost leads, that's got people that you met at community events that haven't converted yet. All right, if your email list is filled with those kinds of people, you're going to do really well here. Really well. So daily email to the list. Again, you don't have to do a daily, okay? But I like a daily. If I'm marketing this for 10 days, there's 10 emails. There's more than 10 emails that are going out. I think in my email copy I gave you, and remember I went back and tweaked the emails to be COVID specific. So I believe you guys have about 14 emails to work with for this. You have the Facebook ad, just run that like a normal Facebook ad. We have copy, sample copy for you. And again, that's going to drive right to the landing page. Facebook and Instagram organic twice a day, always with a call to action. So your Instagram bio, there should be a link for this to the landing page in the Instagram bio. Facebook should have the link, drive into the landing page, call to action every time. Click here. Post it on your community forums. Ask your good clients to share. This is important. So you should post the day you launch it, have one kind of a hub post where you're kind of announcing this to the community as your first Facebook post, if you will. And what I want you to do is ask 10 to 20 of your best clients, 10 to 20 of your best clients, and ask them to share the post. And that is going to get a ton of play organically on the landing page. You're going to get a lot of play. And then remember, you'll be able to, the people that you visit the landing page, you'll be able to retarget them with your Facebook ad and all that stuff. And then joint ventures to the email list. What joint ventures do you have? And honestly, you could add an AB is doing a direct mail piece as well. You could do a postcard for this as well. I didn't put that in there, but you could do that as well, a postcard. I didn't want to give you guys too much work, but you could do that. AB put together a really nice looking postcard that hopefully is going to do well. We'll never know. Direct mail's hit or miss. It will. We'll see, AB. Well, the best thing about direct mail is the results are, it gives you really good measurable results. So your sweepstakes emails, remember, these are done for you. You're essentially taking the emails that I wrote myself, okay, and you can use them. Now, there's the disclaimer here, okay? Just because the emails worked for my list and my audience, does not mean that they will work for yours. So that is the disclaimer on this. There's not, every marketing play is different, right? Every list is different. I don't know if you got all your emails from spam, or you bought your list right, and it's not a good list, the best email in the world probably won't work. So a lot of this depends on the quality of your list, okay? But if you're going to, just emails in general, spend time on your subject lines. Remember, your subject lines are kind of like the headline, right? So you have the headline on the landing page, which we went over, but you also have the subject lines like on your emails, which is the same thing as a headline. Most people don't think about this. Most people don't think about the subject line that they're going to put in their email. Well, that's the most important thing. If they don't have a good subject line, it's not going to get open. Okay. All emails have several links to the landing page. You'll see that in mine. Stories sell, facts tell. The best emails I write and the most responses I get are when I tell stories. Okay. So think about, and you'll see that there's a lot of different story-based emails that are in there. Change who they are from. So I play around with this. So it's like, first of all, this is an important thing to know. Do not have your emails come from your business name. So I never have emails come from Gabriel Fitness. I always have emails come from Vince Gabriel. Your email should say Ben Shear, Tony Bianchino, Tom Leonardis. The email should say a person's name, not a business name, because people trust people more than they trust businesses. This is a great tip, and you can use this all the time. But, and I do this to you guys who are on my email list very frequently, but sending emails again to unopens. So there's a feature in your email server, whatever you use, they all have it. But you can, let's say you send an email at 6 a.m. You can send that email again, the same exact email, to the people that did not open it. So it's the same email. The people that open, let's say you have 100 people on your list and you had a 20% open rate, so 20 people opened it, it would send the email again to the 80 people that didn't open it. And then if you get another 10% open rate on that 80, right, then that's a 30% open rate versus a 20% open rate. That tip I gave you just now, hopefully you wrote that down, but that tip I just gave you could make you a lot of money. And then don't be afraid to send multiple emails as the deadline approaches. I think the last day of my Surge launch, I send 5 emails in one day. All right. But usually I think on a local list, I'll send 2 to 3 as the deadline approaches on the last day. All right. So don't be afraid to send multiple emails. This is my friend Mike Salvietti, his ad formula. Okay. So this is just, it just is a good template to use when you're writing a Facebook ad. Remember, we've written one for you, but this is just a slide that you may want to take a picture of, and I'm going to post these slides in the thing. But it's just a good simple job of breaking down a good Facebook ad copy. So call out the audience, ask a yes question, connecting statement that introduces the offer as an opportunity. All right, what did they get with the offer? Call to action, extra links, all this stuff. All right, so that kind of gives you these elements and it allows you to template this stuff out. All right, so you can make it simpler. Here's another one from Nick Kusmich. Start with a yes question, build rapport, time sensitivity, offer, call to action, scrambled URL. So you can see there's not one way to write a Facebook ad. There's many of them. Okay, the application process. So they get to the landing page. Remember, the goal of the emails and the Facebook ads and the social media posts and all this stuff is to get them to get to the landing page to click to fill out the application. Now, the application should serve as a slight barrier. It is not just a lead generator. You're trying to just get as many leads as possible, name and email. This is something different. They're applying for something really, really big. So if they're going to apply something really big and they're going to be a good candidate to train at your gym, all right, you want them to almost go through a little bit of a hoop. So we make the application actually pretty long, because especially if you're going to pick that person to win the documentary, right? If they're going to pick that person to win and you're going to follow them for 6 weeks and you want to kind of give them this free gift, this free training, that it needs to tell you that if they're not going to fill out an application, they're not going to be good candidates to do this. So it kind of weeds out people that are just tire kickers. And if they're taking the time to fill out this application, that means they're good to go. The application should tell you their readiness to push it for 6 weeks. So you want someone that's going to be able to work, hard. So if someone comes in and they have, although I will tell you this, the first person that we picked, and I'll tell you the story about her in a sec, she had a heart condition where she literally the first 3 weeks, she was not able to do anything except ride the bike with her heart rate at 100 beats a minute. And we just crushed her with nutrition, and she ended up losing a ton of weight. So take that for what it is. But if you want to really show the person working out hard, they need to be ready to go for that. So it's not a foolproof one. Ask your members for referrals for great candidates. Like, what of your members has friends that would be a good candidate to win this thing? And a lot of people ask, can members apply? And the answer is yes. They can apply. That doesn't mean you have to pick them. But yes, your current members can apply for sure. Selecting the winners, you have two options here. One is a random selection, which I hate. A lot of people that have done this don't feel comfortable picking people. Well, I mean, are you just afraid of what everyone says about you? Come on. It's like you're applying for something, there's an interview process, and you pick the winners. And I'll be honest with you, there's people in my community that have said things like, when I posted the email, they're saying like, oh, it's fixed. Well, yeah, it is fixed. We're putting things out there, we're reading applications, and we're picking who we want. So technically, yes, it is fixed. But the reality is, what other people say about me is none of my business. There's one for you to write down. What other people say about you is none of your business. You didn't think this would be a therapy session too. All right, good. So I like the interview process. You bring them in, you talk to them, you see if they would be a good person to win this prize, and then you pick the people that you want. All right. So that's how you'd select the winners. Okay. What you're looking for, will they be a story worth following? Are they willing to share on social media, and are they connected to the community? That's kind of the three things. They got to be worth following. They can't be boring. Are they willing to kind of share their story, and then are they connected in the community? Those are three things you're looking for. All three of those things, you're going to have a winner when you do this documentary. Okay, so here's how I booked 27 consultations in one day. Yes, right before, it was a beautiful day. I booked 27 consultations in one day, and then I got on a plane with my wonderful wife, and I believe it was the first time we ever went away when we had kids. We went to Mexico or something like that. I can't remember. But I booked 27 consultations, hung up the phone, drove to the airport, and then the team fulfilled the rest. It was an amazing day. So here's how you turn this into money. So you're going to get all these applications. Right? You're going to have a bunch of people fill these applications out. You're going to select the winners, right? And then you're going to have this big list of non-winners. What you're going to do is you're going to look through the applications of the non-winners. And you're going to look through, and remember, the application questions will tell you a lot of info about them. But you're going to look through and say, all right, who are great candidates to train at the gym? Meaning, what is the makeup? Are they similar to a lot of the clients that you have? And would they be interested in coming to train even if they didn't win? And depending on how many applications you get, this is usually about 5 to 30 people. For us, it's usually between 20 and 30 people that we look and say, all right, these people we're not picking to win, but they're good candidates to train. They're connected to our community, they're local, because you will get some people that from outside your area to apply for this. So obviously if they're from, we've had people apply from Pennsylvania. I don't know how they got it. It must have been when someone shared it. But like, we're not going to pick someone from Pennsylvania to give something to because they can't come to the gym. Okay, so here's the evil trick. The evil trick is you take these 30 people that are good candidates that didn't win. Okay, and you call them. On the phone, you call them. Okay, and I gave you a script for this as well. The script is in the file section. And you call them before you announce the winners. Yes, that's the evil trick. Because they're waiting by their phone thinking they won. And my MO is I will if there's a voicemail, I will call up and say, and again, I don't do it anymore. The team does it now. But the first time I did it, I was like, hey, this is Vince Gabriel from Gabriel Fitness. I'm just calling you about the status of your application. Please give me a call back when you can. And remember, this is someone that didn't win. So the callbacks came immediately. And the conversation goes something like this. Hey, thanks so much for applying. I really appreciate you spending the time to fill out this application. Unfortunately, we can't pick everybody, and you didn't make the list of finalists. But I really appreciate your story and how much you put into the application. And what I'd like you to do, I'd like to give you a free 30-day membership to come in and try the gym out and see how it goes. Remember, now I have looked at this person, and I'm okay giving them a free 30-day membership because they look like they're a solid candidate to train. So the quote from Dean Jackson is, sometimes it's better to fill a spot in your gym for free than it is to not to be used anyway. Because when you fill that spot for free, at least, especially with a qualified candidate, if you fill that spot for free, now you're giving yourself an opportunity for them to turn into a customer someday. So it's a really, really, really powerful thing to do. The lonely kettlebell theory. Yes, that's correct. Yeah. The lonely kettlebell theory is this. The lonely kettlebell is, it's better to have a kettlebell being used in your gym for free with a qualified candidate than it is to be not used at all. Think about that. You have a class, okay? You have a class, and you have 17 people in the class. And let's say it's a kettlebell class, and you have 17 kettlebells being used, and you have 3 kettlebells that are lonely in the corner of the wall. What's better? Those kettlebells not being used at all, or those kettlebells being used by 3 people for free that potentially maybe only one has the chance to become a member, but if that one becomes a member, that free use of the kettlebell was worth it all day long. Something to think about. Thank you for bringing that up, Anthony, the lonely kettlebell theory. Sometimes I make shit up and I don't even remember that I did. Okay, so announce the winners. You're going to announce the winners on email, social media, live events, and announce the winners. And then what you're going to do is afterwards, you're going to follow up to all the people that applied with emails about a discounted trial membership. So there's essentially, and this is very clearly outlined in the document that you're going to get, but there's essentially 3 buckets. Okay, so bucket 1 is who you pick as the winners. Bucket 2 is this 5 to 30 people. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to highlight this. So bucket 2 is the 5 to 30 people. So these are people that are super qualified, but they're not going to win the actual prize. And then bucket 3 is everyone else that applied that gets an email about it. So there's 3 buckets. This is explained in big detail, much more in the document that I'm going to share in a second. So you announce the winners. Now, when you pick the winners, okay, the winners are your contestants, essentially, okay? So you're going to hold a meeting with all the winners and be crystal clear on the expectations. Like, okay, we're giving you this program, this 6 weeks of free training. Here's what you're getting. Here's what we expect from you. If you don't set the tone on your expectations, they're just going to accept a free gift and you're not going to get the value that you need from it. Okay? This is not just a gift to give away. All right? Here's the thing. The goodness of my heart, it's nice to give things. This is not just to give something away for free. If you want to do that, give something to charity. All right? This is a business decision. Okay? And if you're going to give this away for free, you're going to expect something in return. Okay? They are required to share their story. And if they're not going to share their story, then you don't want to pick them to run the documentary because then they're not going to put anything out there. Usually you'll pick 4 to 8 people. I think the most we've ever picked is 7 or 8. We put them in a private Facebook group together with the coaches. And now they're going back and forth and they're supporting each other. So the contestants are kind of, feeding off each other. Create rules and tag all the contestants in your post. When you say create rules, what do they need to do? Well, when they, show up to a workout, they got to check in. When they, once a week, they got to put a post to their personal page. There's specific outlines that you want to give them. This is all put in the guidebook that I'm going to show you in a second. And then you're signing them a private coach or concierge, right? But you got to set the tone with these guys. You can't be like, just like, yeah, this for free, go have at it. You got to set the tone of what the expectations are. And then what you should do is you should assign one of your coaches to each contestant. So one coach. If you only have one trainer and you pick 3 people, then you're going to have to do all the people. But essentially, there's a relationship between the coach and the contestant. And these are the things that, we look for them to do. Again, this is more outlined in the document. And then sharing their stories with the community, build a calendar for when you will share stories. Okay, use all the platforms, Facebook, Instagram, give them criteria for what they need to do on the personal side, everything like that. But you're kind of like taking these stories and all the people that are doing stuff, and you're going to drip this stuff out as it happens, right? As it happens. Sometimes say, do you wait a little bit? No, as it's going on, you put it out there. As it's going on, you put it out there. And at the end, you share the story. All right, so this is one of our mastermind members. He got 227 people to fill out the application. 227 people to fill out the application. This, for Eric Driver, launched a transformation for his business. He essentially think he doubled his business in a year. This was the catapult that did it. This guy got 247 applications out in Pennsylvania. Mike Marcinek. Kyle Newell, who you guys all know, he's been on the news. He got 147 applications. Brian Sipitz out in Michigan got 125. Brandon got 84 applications, but converted 32 to trials in 24 hours. Boom. Jimmy got 106. This was Jimmy posted a post in our group. The sweepstakes is working. This thing is freaking awesome. But that woman, this woman of Wendy, there was a video of her. There's a lot of emotion that comes up. Okay, and I'm going to talk about that in a second, because this is really the biggest, most powerful part of it. Okay, the most powerful part is bringing you an attractive character if you do this right. Now, there's a guy named Jared from Subway. Okay, and now I know how the story ends, all right? And so I hate to use this guy as an example, but essentially, Subway used this story for years and pretty much changed the entire marketing message. And if you really think about it, was the first type of healthy fast food. And their entire marketing play was based on this guy, Jared, that lost X amount of weight eating Subway sandwiches. Now, it's like how you can take these giant loaves of bread and use that as a weight loss thing. I have no idea, but apparently it worked. Okay. And this is an example of what an attractive character can do for a business. That story launched Subway. All right, you have Weight Watchers that had Oprah as their celebrity endorsement. You had Michael Jordan that launched Nike, right? Nike was, if you guys all should be watching the Jordan documentary. It's absolutely amazing. There's a lot of good lessons about life and business in it. But Nike was like a nobody when Michael Jordan came into the NBA. They were like a track company. No one even knew who they were. And Michael Jordan didn't even want to go with Nike. In the documentary, they talk about how he wanted to go with Adidas or Reebok or one of those two, right? And like his mom forced him to go with Nike. And now they're a giant, right? Yeah, Shaq is the spokesperson for Icy Hot. But here's who we got. This is who we got. This is my friend. Let me introduce you to my good friend, Miss Kathy Balsamo. Okay? And Kathy Balsamo was our attractive character. She was our Jared, Oprah, Michael Jordan, Shaq. She was that for Gabriel Fitness. And she was the first person we ever picked for the sweepstakes. And she had an unbelievable life transformation, right? An unbelievable life transformation, which I'll tell the full story in a second here. Okay, so we picked her, and in the beginning, we're like, doing the workouts, and then all of a sudden she starts like doing these videos, and people start like dressing up as her. She got so famous from this in our community, from this program that we were doing. People started dressing up like her for Halloween. Like that guy on the left is literally her. And there's like a video of him like cursing at the camera because Cassie's like curse in the videos. It was crazy. She started her own healthy recipe group that now has close to 5,000 members in it. She and I wrote a book together called Annihilate the Fear, Transform Your Life. We had a seminar. Look at the packed house at the bottom. That's me introducing her. Packed house. She was signing autographs. Many people are signing. She's little. This is a woman, a normal community woman that is signing autographs at a table of the book she wrote. She was in Women's World magazine, like legit Women's World magazine, and she was in another. She had a full spread in another one. She was on the Dr. Oz show. And she was asked to be on the Rachel Ray show, and then she's like, no, I hate that bitch. I ain't going on that show. So she wasn't a big fan of Rachel Ray. But the reality was that we followed Kathy for this 6-week period and dripped her story out, and the community fell in love with her. And because the community fell in love with her, the community fell in love with us too. She said things that we would never be able to say. She resonated with the community in a way that we'll never be able to replicate. That is the power of story, and that's a power of social proof. But it's also the power of consistency, that we were putting stuff out there on a very, very regular basis. And the story goes is Kathy was, very overweight, not healthy at all. And this was, I think, 2015 or 2016. And, she's told us that, we changed her life, that we got her on, and here we are. It's 2020 now, and she's still fit, and she's still strong, and she's still doing great. She hasn't rebounded at all. And I think I told you guys the story last week, and this is who I was talking about. But Kathy ended up getting COVID-19. And the doctor pretty much told her that she would have not made it. And this is what she told me, that she would have not made it if she wasn't healthy, because she had heart conditions before. She had all kinds of blood pressures and all kinds of heart medicines. And she was overweight and obese, and now she's not. And her immune system stood up to COVID, and she's good now. So it's an unbelievable kind of story, if you will, but one that came about through this program, through this sweepstakes. So I think that it's a great play. Let me just stop my share. And I'm going to share something new. I'm just going to show you guys this, that you get access to this. So this is the guidebook, okay, that you get. We posted it in there. But the guidebook outlines, it's like the how-to. It's pretty much everything that I just presented, but it's super detailed. Goes over the 5 steps, building the offer, implementing the marketing. So it gives you, so you can just get much more detailed. Okay, sample emails. Remember, you have a sample emails in a different document. Sample Facebook posts. Sample joint venture emails. A marketing calendar for how to put the posts out. Build the landing page. Building the application. Gives you all the stuff to put in the application. Converting the landing page into members. Sharing the winner stories. All you have access to this. These are even questions we use to get testimonials. So you guys got all access to that. So everything you need to run this play is there. So hopefully that should get you really excited. Is anyone excited about this? Is this still an English speaking audience?
Very.
Are you more excited about that it's a good thing to have access to, or the fact that I did all the work for you guys and I'm just giving you this shit? Well, I didn't give it.
Because I
didn't give it to you. You guys, invested in the program, so that's what you get. It's really powerful. It's right. Now, can I guarantee what kind of results you're getting? No, I can't. Because like I said, every community is different, everything's different, but it's a really, really powerful play. And I think that this is the time to, this is a great time when you open up your gym to run something like this. Okay. So you got a lot, so you might want to just start. Now, my advice is not running this, until you kind of have an idea of when you're going to open. I would kind of wait and say, like, all right, when are we going to open? And then kind of go from there. But you could do it before. There's not a right answer here. That's the thing. It's like, this is like, I don't know. Like, if you ran it now while you're not open, you would still get a lot of people to apply for it. The thing you run into would be like, all right, if they win, you can't train them. So you might want to wait on it, if you will. So that's my story. Now, this module obviously is a little shorter, but the value is all in what I've given you everything. The value is all in, you have it all. You have it all. So now it's time for you guys to get your butts to work. So, you guys got any questions?
Vince, I got a question. When you're talking to the people who didn't win, you give them the call, they didn't win, they don't know that. Afterwards, if somebody asks you, hey, how come I didn't win? What if they ask, whatever, what do you say to them? Because I don't want to say a dick thing.
It was close. It was close.
That's it?
We can't pick everybody, Tony. It was close. I'll tell you. It was like, I was like, this was like one of the hardest things ever to make in my life. It was real close.
I love it. That's great.
Yes, stupid questions. You get a sarcastic answer sometimes. Not you, Tony, in general, but they asked it. Oh yeah. How did you pick the winners? What's the criteria you use to pick the winners? Who I want.
That's great. Thank you.
You got it. What else? I wanted to do a little teaching on, do you guys understand how important headlines are? The headline is the ad for the ad. You got to get, if there's one thing as a marketer that you got to get better at, it's writing headlines. If there's one thing to work on, when I write a piece of copy or like to try and pick a headline for a landing page, I will write 25 headlines to end up getting one. So just that is the best way that you can start to get better at marketing, because you're like, what is the thing that's going to capture somebody's attention? The headline is the ad for the ad. If you take one thing away from this program, know that if you can get better at writing headlines, do that. And actually, I do believe that in spfmastermind.com, which you guys are going to lose access to in a couple weeks when this program ends, okay? So get in there and grab what you can. But there is a it's called FBU Copywriting Report. All right, FBU Copywriting Report. Will, is that in spfmastermind.com, the FBU Copywriting Report? Tech nerd's sleeping on me.
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, it is. So go in, but that gives you a ton of templates for headlines. Don't reinvent the wheel here, okay? Don't reinvent the wheel here. Take proven formulas, follow the formula, and then go from there. All right, what else? I did that good of a job.
Vince, when you pick one winner, and then you pick the other 30 people.
So you have the option to pick. You can pick one winner. I like when you run it as a documentary and you're going to kind of get the stories going. I like picking 4 people because then you can have 4 different stories to push around and the social proof of it improves. You can pick one winner. That's fine.
Okay, so you pick the
So you-
4.
Yep. So you have the winners. Okay. That's bucket 1. Bucket 2 is you look through the applications and you pick the winners. Then you pick the people that you think would be good candidates to sign up for your gym. The applications lend to that. It asks where they're from. It asks how old they are. It asks how much money they make. No, I'm just kidding. It doesn't do that.
It should.
You could. It doesn't do that, but it gives you enough information to be able to know, like, all right, this person, like one of the questions he asks is, do you have any friends or know anyone that trains with us? And we know if they have a bunch of friends that train with us, that's probably a person that's a great candidate to pick. People like us do things like this. Write that shit down.
My question was the 30 people in the second bucket. Those you say you give them a month. You give them a month. Now, is that a month or group?
Yeah, I would give them a month. We normally have like a jumpstart program, like a 30-day jumpstart, right?
That's group fitness. That's not personal training, though, right?
So when I say personal training, we do small group personal training.
Okay.
So, do you do large group and one-on-one, Marlon?
I do large group, one-on-one, and small group too.
Okay, then I would probably give them like because you want to I would probably give them what would you, if you had a trial offer, what would you give somebody? Do you have a trial offer right now?
We do a month of big group training.
And that's fine. You could do that. You could do a month of group training. We sell ours always as a combo because I want the front end offer to include what I want them to buy.
So I'll probably do small group training with them then.
Or you could do a combo of the two.
Got it.
Certain days of small group, and that could be valued at X, and you're giving it to them for free. You don't have to give it to them for free. But hey, it follows the lonely kettlebell theory. If they're a highly qualified candidate, remove all obstacles and get them in there.
Yeah, especially since I'm really trying to build my small group. I'm really big one-on-ones and group, but my small group is not that strong, so I'm going to funnel them through that.
Small group's a winner. COVID times, small group's a winner. So is one-on-one. Good questions, Marlon. So you guys understand the 3 buckets? Winners, good candidates, rest of the people.
What about doing this as an online version of this as well?
You could. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be more of a lead gen. You could absolutely do it like that, Ben. I don't think that the documentary portion would be as effective.
Sure.
But that's not to say that you couldn't do it. I mean, here's the thing. Like, I know these guys, all these guys that do, like the whole Jeff Cavalier and P90X, like they probably have stuff like this that they do online.
Like for me, my brand in the golf world is valuable kind of anywhere where I think I've never spent much time building an online business, but I feel like as we go forward, that needs to be a piece of what we do, right? I mean, going forward, I think you can't neglect that side of it.
Not at all.
How do I scale that out quickly? And I think if I created some offer using the same type of model as an online, we could probably get a lot of good leads from anywhere in the country to do it.
You do have the option, and I have done this before too. You do have the option to just run this as Ben's saying, a lead gen offer. You do not have to do the documentary side. For a brick and mortar, I think it's really powerful, and that's what you saw with Kathy Balsamo. That is what caused that huge avalanche of new business for us. Is the Kathy Balsamo story. But absolutely, you could definitely use this as just, hey, you're giving this away. I mean, I did something similar to this on my consulting, where when I launched my podcast, I gave away an Airdyne bike. I just gave it away for free, and I had a bunch of people opt in for the bike. Yes, it's a good question, Ben. You can opt to use this just as a lead gen tool in any form of business. I'm actually been contemplating something like a sweepstakes for my consulting, like potentially like giving away one free spot in my Surge program, which is a $2,500 course, and running a sweepstakes for that.
Right.
And I could do the same thing where I would give away the one spot in the course for free. But now I know anyone that applied for the course is somewhat interested in the course. So then I pick up the phone and be like, thanks for applying. Didn't win.
Right.
But
I could see it as running both, having two versions of this at some point. One
Absolutely.
is online off lead gen thing, and then one is for the brick and mortar part of it as well.
yep. Yeah, I hear the excitement in your voice, Ben. That's good. And very powerful to connect this with our software that we mentioned last time, Nurture Ninja.
I spoke with it this morning.
Oh, good. So if you did want to talk to the tech nerd, he's just a nice guy to talk to anyway, and he's got big biceps too. For you ladies, no, I'm kidding. But the tech nerd is available. This would be a lot easier to implement with the Nurture Ninja. But you remember, you don't have to use Nurture Ninja. You'll have all the access to the stuff that you need. What else?
What kind of prizes have you used in the past aside
Yeah.
from your personal?
So the original prize we gave away was the 6 weeks. We called it the 6-week kitchen sink package. And what makes the value higher is the one-on-one attention that they're going to get. So when someone comes in and does a normal program with us, they don't get a trainer that so I literally texted Kathy every day. Every day. So they're getting a level of accountability, almost like think Biggest Loser, right? Their Biggest Loser, like, yeah, Jillian is your trainer, you know what I'm saying? So you almost got to think like that. So yes, they're still getting, we still put them in our normal program. The way you increase the value is the individual advice guidance you're going to give them. So you don't have to train them one-on-one and increase your payroll. You can, but you don't necessarily have to. So that was 6 weeks. We've done 8 weeks. Honestly, we really haven't really changed the prize too much. It's really just changing the wording around, right? Because when we changed it from transform your health and fitness in 6 weeks, that was the first headline. And the second headline that crushed, or not the second one, but like 5 years later when we did it again, it was who else wants 8 weeks of personal training, a nutrition coach, and a private accountability concierge, which is all the same person. It's all the same person. The trainer is the nutrition coach, and the trainer is also the private accountability concierge. It still doesn't mean that they're not getting those three things. It just means it's like, what are those shows that, like, you know, those old school shows like the Wonder Years where the gym teacher was also the science teacher, and then the science teacher was also the math teacher, and the teacher was always the same actor? It's kind of like that. I don't think anyone knows what the hell I'm talking about. But does anyone know what I'm talking about? No. Only the old people on this call.
No.
Only the old people on this call. I can say that I'm 40 now. So yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. It's something that can sit in your marketing toolbox forever. Something that can sit in your marketing toolbox forever. So I'm kind of just gave you a gift that keeps on giving. Carrie, what's your question? You had the question face on. You're like, oh my God, he's talking to me. What else? It's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, it's all in there for you. Marlon, you good? What's your?
Yeah, we're good right now.
Okay, cool.
We're good right now.
What else? Anthony, you got any questions? You've been very quiet on these calls.
I'm good, man. Just listening.
No, other Anthony. I know you're good. Zach, yeah, what's up?
Hey, thanks, Vince. This has been great, very exciting.
Cool.
I just want to. There's so much generous material you're giving us with this program. I just sometimes it's a little tricky to figure out what's where as far as a specific resource. So, I'm trying to figure out where to find a landing page example. Like I've kind of skimmed through the PDF guide that was posted in Facebook, and the links in there aren't actually working to go to a landing page example.
I believe those landing page examples will be updated in spfmastermind.com. Right, Will?
I actually put a link to another little access to just that module, which is not the one you've seen before. So this is specifically just the stuff we talked about today, so you don't have to sort through everything.
Okay.
And you'll also have access along.
Where is that, Will?
I posted in the chat. I'll post it again. Right there.
And all right, we'll also post that. So all right. So to get access to the landing page and the copy and all that stuff, we'll just put together a new thing. So yeah, I know we just got so much stuff, so sometimes we get excited. But here's the thing, Zach. Any questions you guys have, reach out to Megan or Will or me. And if there's any confusion, just reach out to us and we'll get it for you right away. So yeah, we're trying to give you guys as much value as possible, but yeah, I realize that. So thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So what happened to me when I clicked on that link is it asked me for basically to sign in, give my email and name, and I did, and then it opened a whole vault with like 10 different programs, and each one has its own modules. It's like
Right.
a marketing, SPF Mastermind. Oh, that's the one that says sweepstakes done for you. Okay.
Done for you, yes.
All right.
That basically adds it to your vault as another module that's just the stuff we talked about today.
Gotcha. And somewhere in there, I could probably find the landing page.
Yeah, it is under funnel breakdown and copy of that. So I got just the copy for it if you just want to have that in copy paste, as well as the actual funnel.
Okay.
And then you can go through that funnel and click the button. There'll be a pop-up with the survey. You can take the survey and see all the questions there. And then all the questions will also be in the guidebook.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, and if you want to schedule a
So,
call,
Will,
any questions, let me know.
So the best place for them to go, so just because I did realize we posted stuff in the file set, maybe I might even remove the stuff in the, Will, is everything that's in the file section also in the page, spfmastermind.com?
The majority, but I can add it in just to that one module. So
Let's do
it'll be
that.
a
Let's,
little
because
easier.
I like Zach's point though. Let's avoid the confusion. Let's rip everything out of the file section in the Facebook group.
Sure.
Have Meg rip all that out, and let's just put everything into spfmastermind.com. So guys, where you go to get every piece of info you need for this play is spfmastermind.com under sweepstakes done for you. Cool?
Thank you.
Got it. All right, what else? What other questions do you have? I think the important thing you got to think about too is like a lot of business owners, especially that don't have like almost like marketing launch muscle, meaning they've never done a launch before of like one heavy program, and they try and do like a bunch of different things at once. This is something where you got to like gear up for. You got to gear up for this, and that's why I only run it once a year. Sometimes I've run it twice, but most of the time it's only once a year. And the best month I've run it for has been February. For me personally, that's just when we run it the most, and that's when we've had the most success with it. But so we kind of know that every February we're going to run this play. And so you can kind of build this into your marketing calendar every year, that this is going to be a big blitz of lead gen. It's not something you're going to want to do every month because it'll kind of overstay its welcome. But now, like, people kind of in our community know what's coming. We're like, and we say things like, we're doing it again. It's that time of year again. They know it's coming. They're looking for it. And I will tell you this. Now, I don't want to kind of give you like too much stuff to make your head spin. Okay. But I will tell you, because I'm always tweaking it a little bit. Now, I don't have to tweak it. I could just stay with the same 4 winners and still do well. But the way I'm tweaking it this year, I shouldn't even tell you. I'll tell you. Don't do this. Just bookmark this and do it later. All right. Start the traditional way, 4 winners. But what I'm thinking this year, I'm going to try this, is we're going to give it away to one person. And the person that wins can give it to 3 of their friends. Ooh. Now there's all kinds of talk. Did you apply? Did you apply? Are you going to pick me? Are you going to pick me? Hey, if you win, you're going to pick me. No, if you win, you better pick me. All right. I'm doing this with you. Remember, you apply. And there's this social conversation going on about you. I have a feeling you're all going to do that. So that is like, here's the thing. It's not proven, right? I don't know. I haven't used it yet, but it sounds pretty damn good, doesn't it?
You can also group them together when you do the small group.
For
Get
sure.
all the bodies and put them together.
Yeah. Now you have 4 friends that are doing it.
So I always have an issue with members that always want to join these things.
They're more than welcome.
But you don't pick
to-
them, and they'll get a little.
I've picked one in 5 years. Hey, Barbara, your job as a business owner is not to make everybody happy.
I know that.
But think about that, the 4 friends and the amount of talk that would go on in that social group. Holy cow. So that would be very strategic on who you would pick. You'd pick someone that was ultra connected that would bring you 3 more. That would be damn. So it's an idea. But you see how this concept allows you to, like, so Ben came up with a good point. Like, yeah, you can make this just a lead gen tool, right? So this is an idea that can be expanded upon. That is what creativity is. Very, very few of us come up with truly original ideas. Frankly, it's overrated. What really is creativity is about, and I did a whole, I did like a 2-hour course on this about creativity, and it's like creativity is all of it is adaptation. So I just took a piece of what I just taught, and then I just spun it. That's your creativity. Don't think you need to come up with all fresh new ideas. Take a look at what other people are doing and then just put your little twist on it. And that's creativity. What else? I started writing cursive again. And apparently, cursive writing is the absolute best thing for your prefrontal cortex of your brain. And I started writing last night I started writing my name in cursive with my left hand. And then I started writing my name in cursive with my left hand backwards. And I'm just playing around with all this stuff. Like, I couldn't sleep last night. My brain was like, it's like this like voltage switch that flipped it on. You know what the best way to get better at writing copy? Find a good copywriter. Find a good, don't use mine, because you're saying I'm a good copywriter. I'm not a great copywriter. I'm probably, and again, I do well, but the reality is there's many better copywriters than me out there that you could follow, and take a Dan Kennedy landing page, take a John Carlton landing page, and literally write it word for word. Find someone that writes you good emails. You get emails from somebody that are really good, and the emails you read are awesome. And as soon as you read them, they make you want to buy something. Take the email and write it word for word. That is how you get better at writing copy. And to take it to the next level, when you write it in cursive. So I now wrote a letter to someone yesterday in cursive. And it took me 6 times to write the letter because I kept messing up. I couldn't remember what the freaking cursive F was. And so I kept messing up, and I'm like, I'm not going to send a letter that has crossouts on it. So I wrote the letter like 6 times. But my brain was like on fire after I did that. Because like cursive like forces, like you can't like write, like we can type, like you guys can type right now and talk at the same time. Can you write cursive and talk to me at the same time? Hell no. No way. It's flow. Total flow. It's jet fuel for your prefrontal cortex. I love it. I'm telling everybody about cursive. I was just distracting you guys so you could think about a question to ask. All right, any questions? I got a good module for you guys next week. We're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about money, and I'm bringing on a guest. So you won't have to hear my Jersey accent anymore. All right, I'm bringing on a guest. It's my good friend, Mike Waldron, who's going to come on and talk to you guys about, here's the thing. It's stuff you got to know. So is it exciting like the sweepstakes? No, it's not as exciting as the sweepstakes. But it's stuff you need to know as a business owner. Got to understand cash flow forecasts, especially right now. You have to understand a cash flow forecast right now. Because there's a difference between your income statement, right? Which is your income statement is your profit and loss, right? That's, you did X amount of revenue and then you got X amount of expenses. But isn't it funny that I feel like I made money in my income statement, but my cash in the bank never seems to add up. You got to understand cash flow. You got to understand what needs to go towards cash. What are the things that affect cash flow? So he's going to talk about the 5 financial levers that you guys need to be pulling next week. And then we'll be done. Believe it or not, I went fast. I think I'm going to give you guys an extra week of spfmastermind.com. So I'll leave you guys on that a little longer before I turn off the lights on you. Anyone Also, remember we talked about last week with the follow-up, anyone that wants to talk to the tech nerd, you can book a call with him. Reach out to the tech nerd and he can go over Nurture Ninja and kind of show you how you can implement that into your business. Strongly suggest having something like that. If you're not going to use Nurture Ninja, no problem, but you need something like that that's keeping track of your follow system. Gotta have it. Gotta have it. And it's better if it's only one system versus 17. So I know some of you have talked to him. If you need to, you can just reach out to him through Facebook, or they can put a link in there. You can book your call right there. In the chat, you can book your call with Will. Barbara, it can replace Constant Contact, but it can. The one thing that Will talked about last week was that the Nurture Ninja is still not yet does have an open rate percentage. That will happen probably next week. So you might want to keep Constant Contact for like another week, but eventually, yes, it will replace Constant Contact. Yes, ma'am. Any final words of encouragement for me? All right. If there's no more questions, you guys have lots of work to do. Thank you, Barbara. I appreciate that. It's very rare I get a compliment, so I appreciate that. No, I'm kidding.
Later, Vince. Thank you.
My random act of kindness.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. Well, hold on. Before you guys go, let me show you something really cool. So I give one of these at every mastermind. Every mastermind meeting, I give one of these away, and it's a daily planner. And it's essentially something I fill out the night before every day. And all it is, and I don't know what reminded me. Oh, what reminded me? Oh, so are you using it? That's one? Oh, perfect. Yeah, so that's exactly mine. There you go. So what she did, she was like, that was my random act of kindness for the day, and it reminded me of that. But this is what I fill out before every night. And actually, every one of my staff members fills it out too. And we have a Facebook post where everyone fills it out. There you go, Leo. They fill it out, and legitimately, we have 100% participation and completion rate on this. 100% we have 14 team members right now, 100% participation. And we have done this through the entire COVID-19 thing. And it's an accountability thing. All right, so I want to know what the hell everyone's doing. All right, what do you got? A good day starts the night before. What is that from? That's yours. You created that?
I didn't create it myself, but I kind of picked it out from other people's
Yeah.
ideas, and it's the same idea.
And so you gave it to your members.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. That's great. Yeah, that's great. Great. And a lot of the stuff there's a lot of things that I do in my mastermind that a lot of guys have taken and used for their memberships. Like even like the check-in, we do that check-in every Friday. So every Friday I ask 2 questions. What went right? Where do you need support? Not a bad thing to ask your members. Right? What do you need support? And now every week you're getting where your clients need help. Right? But that was just Techner, do you have a PDF of this? Is that in the SPF?
No, but I can get it in there.
Is it in there?
That's where I got it.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, so it's in there.
Great.
So in spfmastermind.com, it's the daily. It's called Daily Planner, I believe. But what I like, and when I really saw the difference was the physical copy was the book of it, where they're already pre-printed, and now this book comes with me everywhere I go. And every night before I go to sleep, I fill out the book. And I'm actually about to tweak it. So Barbara, I'll send you the revised version. But what I'm going to tweak it with was at the very top, I'm going to add what were your 3 biggest wins for the day. Because a lot of times we have a day and we never give ourselves credit for anything that we did. Right? We kind of just like go through like we don't really even know what the hell we did. Barbara, do you remember what section it was in?
I'll tell you in a minute. I'm looking for it.
Technical.
Well, you're just randomly going through, picking out everything. I don't.
But it will be a game changer for your productivity. Game changer for your productivity. Just that one simple sheet. And then work your day off the sheet. And here's the thing, and don't overthink it either. Like, don't think like if you write it down, you're like, I don't know, is that really what I'm supposed to be doing? Like, no, fuck it, just do it. You wrote it down, like, go do it. And when you're done for the day. You get done with everything you need to do by 12 o'clock, go play with your kids. Will's checking.
Yeah, I'll post it in the group so everybody can see it. And then also put it in the new sweepstakes thing that I just linked.
Okay. All right. We were almost done. I have a tendency to extend the call. I have nothing else to do today, so I'm kind of bored. This is the only thing I do on Friday.
Go golf.
No. Attention deficit disorder disciples do not golf.
Oh, see, I'm focused when I play golf.
Ugh, I can't think of anything worse. Sorry, Barbara. Actually, well, I think Ben's on the call still. Ben's like a golf guru. So yeah, you can get some golf advice from Ben. All right, guys. Well, next Friday I'll be on, but Mike's going to do most of the talking. But we're going to do, talk about your money, and then we'll go to Q&A. And that will be our time together. I'll leave the access code on for another week for you guys. Give you another week to kind of fish around in spfmastermind.com, and then we'll go from there. But anything you need, feel free to reach out, and I guess have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
Bye.